Chika's world shattered the moment she lost her husband. But when her in-laws came to take everything he worked for, she found herself facing an impossible fight, one that could change everything she believed about marriage, inheritance, and her rights as a wife. Will she win her battle for justice or lose everything? Stay tuned till the end to find out what happens. Chika and Obinna had a simple life, raising 3 children in a family house. Obinna's hard work provided for their needs. He owned a small shop and farmland that supported their modest yet contented existence. One fateful day, tragedy struck. Obinna was involved in a fatal accident that claimed his life. Grief consumed Chika as she prepared to lay her beloved husband to rest. He left no will, creating uncertainty. Shortly after the burial, Obinna's brothers arrived with shocking demands. They insisted that Chika vacate the family house, claiming that all of Obinna's properties belonged to them under their community's inheritance customs. Chika was devastated. Despite her tears and pleas, the brothers dismissed her concerns. They argued that tradition dictated their rights as male relatives, leaving Chika and her children at their mercy. Obinna's brothers wasted no time asserting control. They sold the goods from the shop and leased the farmland without consulting Chika. Her sources of income were wiped out overnight, leaving her helpless and financially strained. Chika struggled to provide for her children. Emeka, her eldest son, asked why his father's hard work was taken from them. Chika had no answers but vowed to fight for justice, despite the challenges ahead. Chika turned to her church pastor for guidance. He sympathized with her plight and advised her to seek legal help. He reminded her that customs should not override fairness and the welfare of her children. Determined, Chika sought advice from Mrs. Zainab Adams, a lawyer known for her expertise in inheritance disputes. Nervously, Chika recounted her story, seeking hope in the face of adversity. Mrs. Adams patiently listened to Chika's plight. She explained the legal framework governing customary marriages, inheritance, and the protections available under Nigerian law, particularly for widows and children facing unfair treatment. She highlighted the distinction between customary and statutory marriages. While customary marriages follow tradition, statutory marriages offered clearer legal protections, especially in inheritance matters governed by laws like the administration of estate law. Chika regretted not registering her marriage under statutory law. However, the lawyer assured her that the Constitution's anti-discrimination provisions would protect her rights. She offered to file a case against the in-laws. Chika was hesitant but realized she had no choice. Her children's future depended on reclaiming their father's legacy. With renewed courage, she agreed to take legal action against Obinna's family. The in-laws were enraged when served with court papers. They accused Chika of disrespecting their customs and dishonoring the family's traditions. Community elders were drawn into the dispute, siding with the brothers. They argued that Chika was merely a caretaker of Obinna's wealth and that inheritance traditionally passed to male relatives. Their defense was rooted in deep-seated cultural beliefs and practices. Chika endured ridicule and isolation as the case gained attention. Her neighbors whispered about her audacity to challenge tradition, but she stayed resolute, knowing her fight was for her children's future. Meanwhile, her lawyer prepared a strong case, gathering evidence of Chika's contributions to Obinna's properties. She also emphasized the legal protections guaranteed under the Nigerian Constitution. The court proceedings began with Chika's testimony. She detailed her marriage to Obinna, their life together, and the sacrifices she made to support their family. Her emotional account moved many in the courtroom. Chika's lawyer presented evidence of her active role in managing the shop and farm. Witnesses testified to her dedication, showing that Obinna's success was a joint effort, not solely his accomplishment. Some community members who had benefited from Chika's kindness spoke on her behalf. Their testimonies painted a picture of a devoted wife and mother who had contributed significantly to the family's prosperity. Some of Obina's family members testified on behalf of the family. They argued that their customs did not recognize women's inheritance rights. They claimed their actions were justified, portraying themselves as protectors of their family's traditions and wealth. The defense argued that cultural practices could not be ignored. They insisted that their customs were sacred and should dictate the distribution of Obina's estate, regardless of modern legal principles. When making her submission, Mrs. Adams countered with constitutional provisions. She argued that customs must align with the law, especially when they discriminated against women or endangered children's welfare. The courtroom listened intently to her arguments. Chika's lawyer highlighted the Constitution's stance against gender discrimination. She cited several provisions of law, including the Nigerian Constitution and Article 21 of the Protocol to the Charter on Human and People's Rights on the Rights of Women in Africa, which Nigeria has ratified. It provides that a widow or widower shall have the right to inherit each other's property in the event of death, whatever the type of marriage, and to continue living in the matrimonial home. She stressed the need to protect vulnerable groups, including widows and children, from unjust treatment. She cited several cases to back up her argument. When it was the turn of the family lawyer, his submission was brief. He stated that persons married under customary law could only be bound by that custom, and that since the marriage in this case was under customary law, the custom should be applied. He explained that under the deceased custom, women do not share in inheriting the estate of the deceased. He cited a few Nigerian cases to buttress his points. He urged the court to uphold the custom of the people. The judge adjourned the case for judgment to be delivered. At this stage of the trial, tensions ran high among spectators. The community was divided, with some supporting Chika's fight for justice and others clinging to traditional practices. The case became a topic of heated debate. Chika struggled with fear and uncertainty. She prayed for a favorable outcome, knowing that the court's decision would determine her children's future. Her lawyer encouraged her to remain strong. On Judgment Day, the judge, while delivering his judgment, acknowledged the importance of respecting customs but emphasized the Constitution's supremacy. The legal debate centered on balancing tradition with fundamental rights, creating a tense and pivotal moment in the trial. The judge carefully reviewed the arguments and evidence presented. The case was complex, involving the interplay of tradition, law, and constitutional principles. The final verdict required thoughtful deliberation. The courtroom fell silent as the judge delivered the verdict. He acknowledged the importance of customs but emphasized that they could not override constitutional rights or jeopardize the welfare of widows and children. He cited the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, international treaties to which Nigeria is a signatory, and several Nigerian cases where the right of a widow to inherit the deceased property was upheld. In the end, the court's decision was in Chika's favor. She was awarded the family house, the shop, and a portion of the farmland. The judge stressed that justice must prevail over discriminatory practices. The in-laws were ordered to return the proceeds from the shop and farmland. They were reminded that customs must evolve to align with modern legal standards and protect vulnerable family members. Chika wept with relief. Her fight for justice had not been in vain. She could now rebuild her life and secure her children's future, free from the fear of losing everything. The story highlights critical lessons about inheritance rights under customary marriages. Customs cannot override the Nigerian Constitution's protection against discrimination. Widows and children have legal rights to inherit property, even in customary marriages. Registering marriages under statutory law offers clearer legal protections. Understanding inheritance laws and drafting a will can prevent disputes and protect families from unfair treatment. These lessons underscore the importance of balancing tradition with justice, ensuring fairness and equality for all individuals in inheritance matters. Thank you for watching this episode on Legal Guide TV Stories. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful stories. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. See you in the next story.